In Alan Spivey's time, East St. Louis was a city of dreams, a place of jobs and optimism. People came from around the world to settle in East St. Louis because of its bright future and opportunities. The residents truly believed the oft-repeated motto, "If you can't find a job in East St. Louis, then you can't find a job anywhere." There are only two reasons to build skyscrapers. Land is so scarce you build upwards, or you build a building as tall as a trophy. The Spivey Building is absolutely Mr. Spivey's and the city's most visible trophy building. Join us today on our adventure as we explore the Spivey Building in East St. Louis, Illinois, once known as the Pittsburgh of the West. So this place was crunchy. The last time we were here, there was a lot of signs that people had been living in this building, and that hadn't changed. Right near the entryway, we found a little pallet set out with some trash bags and blankets and personal effects. The newspapers are dated 2020 and are very recent. East St. Louis is chock full of homeless people walking around and living in different abandoned spaces. Sometimes as you're driving, you'll see them sleeping under overhangs. Or hanging out in front of abandoned motels. So, I kind of sped this up quite a bit because this is a 12-story building, and I wanted to give you a feel for what's inside of it. A lot of it is completely gutted. You will see some interesting things, but a lot of the stair trip I sped up. It was very windy and rainy when we were here, and luckily I was able to capture some drone footage for you guys to see up above. However, it did prevent me from flying my drone out over East St. Louis from the top of this building. There's a piece of artwork here, graffiti, that says R.I.P. Mike Brown. If you go look that up, it was national news when there were riots near St. Louis in the suburb called Ferguson, and they were tipping police cars over and looting stores. It was a young man that was shot by a police officer, and I'm not going to get into the politics or what I think about it, and I'd prefer if you don't comment on that either, because that's not what this channel is about. But if you're interested, go look up the story. A lot of information. One thing I found sad in this building is I came up to this floor, I believe it's this floor, when I was looking among all the trash and refuse left by people who were, staying in this building and living here during the summertime. I'm sure it has a nice breeze. I found a lot of children's animals, stuffed toys, children's shoes, and this building has been abandoned for probably 30 years, for decades, and so I really believe that people must have been coming up here homeless and using it for shelter and bringing children up here as well. There's a child's shoe, some phone books, bubbles, those little packs of bubbles that a child might get at a birthday party in a goodie bag. So I'm absolutely sure at some point that there must have been children up here staying as well. And once again, here we go, speeding along up to the top. Looks like a 101 Dalmatian kind of Santa looking coat. Looks like some sort of children's item. I always get nervous staring down the edge of elevator shafts. And here we go again. A constant in these videos near downtown is the sound of the metro link that connects East St. Louis and Illinois to downtown St. Louis.
Oh, God.
And as I get closer and closer to the top, you'll hear me breathe louder and louder through my respirator. Now this will probably be the final video I ever do on the Spivey Building. Andrew had not been here before, or he had, but he had not filmed this. And so I'm taking him back to some of the places that most of you may have probably not even seen the videos. They're so old now. I've put up so many videos since then, but I did decide to come back and pay tribute to this building one last time. As you drive down the interstate into St. Louis from Illinois, this is a very prominent landmark, and you always see it. It sticks out. It's really tall. You can see that it has graffiti on it, and the windows are busted, and it's just kind of a symbol of the state of East St. Louis. And here we are out on the rooftop. I don't know if you can tell, but it was actually raining too much for me to feel comfortable.
Let's jump up and down together.
I don't trust it, man.
And get ready, we're about to go back down. I think this is the fastest that I've ever descended 12 stories. Oh, here I go again. By the way, if you've made it to the end of this video and you're new, please subscribe. There's tons of awesome videos. Go back and watch them. More stuff coming out soon. Here's some photographs I took from the drone that give you a little view of the Spivey Building and the buildings around it from above. Go over to Old and Fat Exploration and subscribe and check out his videos. Even though sometimes we go in the same buildings, he looks and focuses in on different things as me and has a completely different style. So go check that out.